joined Toastmasters at the time when a person ought to join, when he was a student doing his engineering. He's going to give us a speech from the Special Occasions Manual, and the topic is Speaking in Praise. May I request his evaluator, Mr. Robert Das, Teresa, to kindly give us the guidelines of the project, please.
The guidelines for the project 2, the Toastmaster will be speaking in praise at a function from the Advanced Communication Series, Public Relations. The objectives of the speeches, on special occasion, as we are celebrating the 725th meeting of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. So the objectives of this speech are: prepare a speech praising or honoring someone, either living or dead; address 5 areas concerning the individual and his or her accomplishments; include anecdotes illustrating points within the speech. Time 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
As a young Toastmaster in this club, I've seen this little man grow. He was taller than me even then, but grow as a speaker, grow as a gentleman. After having completed his graduation, he was in the IT sector, and some would call it fate, I would call it opportunity. The recent recession definitely made a difference in his life. Presently, he's a freelance trainer and is molding engineering students. What a way to go. A past president of our club, he very ably handled a very complex situation during those days. He was the area governor of our area last year. Presently, he is very, very busy with his little bundle of joy at home. And just yesterday, day before yesterday, or yesterday, celebrated his birthday.
Day before.
Was it on the 8th? Yeah. For our Toastmasters, I'm talking about Arun John Mathias. Let's welcome him.
The first thing that hit him when he logged into his Facebook account after a 2-week break was the number of new friend requests. Nearly 100. That's like being deluged by a mob of fans swarming all over you. He patiently went through all of them and spent a couple of hours accepting every one of those friend requests. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, it is my privilege to present to you the owner of that Facebook account, the pride of Bangalore Toastmasters Club and District 82, World Championship of Public Speaking semi-finalist, Toastmaster Arun Watson. What stunned me was that almost 90% of his new fans were not Indians. Most of them were from the US. Ever since Watson became the first representative of District 82 to touch the world stage, the number of his fans in India has mushroomed. But now, after the International Convention 2010, Watson has established himself on the world arena in style. I'm here today not to disclose the secret of adding friends on Facebook. Neither am I sharing his mantra of charming audiences and winning speech contests. I'm here to reveal 3 qualities that have shaped Watson and which will inspire us to discover ourselves and realize our potential. The first quality is Watson's single-minded determination. If you thought his recent accomplishments were an overnight phenomenon, think again. 9 years ago in 2001, Watson first tasted success at the international stage, where he won the tape speech contest, the third prize in the tape speech contest. Now that's the equivalent of the international speech contest for clubs that don't belong to an area, to a district. In 2005, he was the first runner-up at Cop Talk, a speech contest open to all Bangaloreans. Last year, he embarked on a journey, and through the furnace, he announced himself on the world arena. He didn't win anything last time. But this year, he's taken it a step further, and he won the third prize at the semi-finals. At a CTM speech, Watson spoke about climbing the summit to success step by step. And he's amply demonstrated that by taking small but definite steps towards achieving his goal of winning the World Championship of Public Speaking. Watson, I'm quietly confident that come 2011, you are going to make it. Often success brings with it an air of superiority, a sense of snobbishness. The second virtue that I want to talk about is that Watson has been untouched by this. He has taken success in his stride, just as he has overcome the countless failures he has overcome in his life. I would attribute that to his humble beginning and the family values that have been inculcated in him. He's never forgotten how he came up the hard way. Cycling all the way from home to Maiko as an apprentice, he has literally put his sweat, blood, and toil to grow from there to become the HR manager at Shobha Developers. Watson, I feel this is just the beginning. You have reached the launch pad and you are going to propel yourself onto a higher plane altogether. But I know that whatever you become, however high you might reach on the social ladder, you will always remain the Watson I know. You will always accept and return my phone calls, just as you did every day for 6 months when you were my VP Education. And you will always end your conversations with me by a prolonged yet sincere bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. You may not grow in size, Watson, but you will definitely grow in stature. The third quality that I want to highlight is Watson's hunger to learn. In the run-up to the recent World Championships, Watson would have delivered his speech at almost every club in Bangalore and outside too. With every performance came feedback, a point to improve on here, some more confidence gained there. The mark of a true champion, the humility to learn from others. If any of the new members seek inspiration on how to get the best out of a mentor, look no further than Watson. It began with Mr. Robinson D'Souza. Both mentor and protege would spend hours practicing speech after speech in the chambers and corridors of Vidhana Saudha. They didn't spare the gardens at the Cubbon Park either. In the last few years, Watson has looked up to District Governor Nagaraj and past International President Dr. Dilip Avesekara to guide him. From a rough stone that he was, Watson has now grown into a sparkling jewel because he has allowed himself to be polished by master craftsmen like Robinson, Nagaraj, and Dr. Dilip. Watson, your journey so far has been eventful, momentous, and inspiring. You've shown us the value of setting a challenging goal and working towards it step by step. You've demonstrated that you can still be successful and have both your feet on the ground. You've proved that having the hunger to learn is the first step towards achieving success. Bangalore Toastmasters Club salutes you on your accomplishments. And together, all of us wish you the very best for your future. All the best.
Thank you. He was my president, one of the VP. So my inbox was always filled with Arun John Mathias' emails. Then he was in semiconductors. So I still have those great moments when he was the president. It was a great learning for me. And coming from Arun, because he doesn't waste words, so every word that he spoke, I know he means it a lot, and I really, I can't believe Arun making such a structured talk and making it nice for me today. Every point I have to reflect on myself. Me cycling back, you made me grounded today. Friends, our president, acting president already said, everybody has seen me grow. So I don't have to hide anything. They've seen me cycling, they've seen me walking, they've seen me crawling. So I have done everything in Toastmasters, but the learnings with each president that I had, every term I had new presidents, learning was phenomenal. When I achieved the 2001 tape speech contest, and that point of time I was the secretary of the club. It was a bigger challenge because George Timothy was a tough taskmaster. For him, the snacks on time, everybody having sufficient drinks with them, then comes your speech contest. So for me it was working with such illustrious, dynamic army generals that made me so disciplined today. So every president like Datta had a very soothing effect. He had a very spiritual impact in my life. Robinson D'Souza, needless to say, what made me a workaholic was being with him. I saw him working with Ansauda. If you look, all the people who are connected with it, they're not the ultimate speakers, but they are greatest of all human beings. So when I saw them, I never went to them because I want to be a great speaker. I always wanted to be of something where I can come close to them. That I saw in Robinson D'Souza. So I wanted to be like him, the way he works, the way he conducts, the way he organizes, no nonsense approach. Then Nagaraj Rao, a businessman, accomplished, everything is got. So humble he is. And when I saw him in 2008 in a men's convention, I was stunned by his modesty, and that day I decided I need to interact with him on a business perspective, but I never knew we would discuss about life. So also was Dr. Dilip. He was a great coach. I heard he came to Chennai to make a good presentation. Then I thought, how do I connect with them? So my desire was, if you want to meet the best of people, you don't have to plead with them. You need to hit at them, prove by your talent that you can reach them only by that, no means else. So that's what I did. So when I met Dr. Dilip, I was in his hotel room, personal room, introduced me to his family, had dinner with him. I realized when I was in Bangalore, I heard about him in Chennai, heard about his life in US, but I decided one day I have to meet him face to face, where we talk on the same level. So when I connect, I feel it is because of the great moment that I get in Toastmasters. In life, we play the game of snake and ladder. Outside the Toastmasters club, I only ended up meeting the snakes and I came down. But in Toastmasters, everybody is a ladder. If I'm here today, anybody whom I met, I've always kept going top, 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 top. Nobody I can say has pulled me down. I always keep going on top. Thank you all.
Thank you, Arun. You said it all. I'm sure every Toastmaster of this club, every member of this district will voice your opinion. The next speaker, incidentally, is going to be Aaron Watson. And his evaluator will be giving us the guidelines of humorously speaking.